You enjoy your home life, and you've lived in your home for years now. But how safe is it? As years go by, safety factors change. Today, we'll see how. Home improvements you can do yourself. Roof repairs made easy. We'll show you how. Technology is transforming home security. Today, we visit one home to see how you can maintain a safer home than ever before. This is the show all about you and your space, your home and surroundings. We are designing spaces.
I really love our home. We've been here for so many years, but it's comfortable, and I really wanted to keep it that way.
Sometimes we get so comfortable and set in our daily routines that we forget to take regular steps to make sure our home is getting the maintenance it needs to be safe and secure. You want to protect what is likely your biggest investment. Designing Space has brought over Allstate agent Alex Blanco to give a home safety review and talk about homeowners insurance.
Alex, I'm really looking forward to this. So I have the house all set up how I like it, but I'm sure there's some areas that I need to tend to regarding safety and maintenance.
First of all, your home is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And you definitely want to protect it.
Yeah.
There are some steps you can take to avoid having to rely on your homeowner's insurance, like many of the claims I see on a daily basis.
Okay, so homeowners, can you tell me again what it covers? I know it's a lot, maybe just a little review.
Homeowner's insurance is made up of 3 components. The first is the structure itself, is the actual home. You're protecting it in case of fire, windstorm, hail, smoke damage, frozen pipes, and water damage that can happen throughout the home.
Okay.
The second component would be your personal property inside the home. All this beautiful furniture you see, clothing, electronics, and your appliances in the kitchen. It's protected in case of any theft or vandalism. The third would be family liability and guest medical protection. Okay. That is, if you are found liable for any injuries that occur in your home, you are protected in that sense as well.
Okay, well, we covered a lot of ground. Thank you. I appreciate the review.
It's also good to get to know your neighbors. Not only will you feel safer surrounded by people you know and trust, but you'll have additional friends and resources in case of an emergency.
Right, they can look out.
It's also important to look for any unstable branches and remove those before they cause damage to the home. The same goes for any roof tiles or shingles. They could potentially lead to leaks.
Okay, good.
If you have any questions, you could always call a professional inspector. They can complete a full home inspections and alleviate any of those concerns.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
You want to be sure to keep your front porch lit.
Okay.
It's very important for burglars not to think that the house is ever empty. And even if you're not here, there's timers available to make sure the light goes on when you're not home.
Oh, that's a good tip. Okay, definitely doing that. Timers.
I'm glad to see you have a smoke and carbon monoxide detector. But when's the last time you changed the batteries?
I don't think we ever have.
That has to be the first thing you do once we finish this checklist. It's extremely important.
Okay, will do.
Every 6 months, those batteries should be changed. Most homes in America have a smoke detector, but believe it or not, 1 in 4 homes that experience a fire have a non-working smoke detector.
That many?
That many. You can also sign up for Allstate's home maintenance reminders at allstate.com/goodlife. These alerts can help with quite a few of the tips that we've talked about today.
Okay, and they're easy.
Next, it's important to change your furnace and AC filters every couple of months.
Okay.
It's important that the ducts don't accumulate dust bunnies.
Got it.
Do you have children here regularly?
We do.
It's important that you do walkthroughs through your home on a regular basis to look out for any potential hazards.
Okay.
Sharp edges, low open windows, exposed electrical boxes. Allstate.com has a blog that goes into more detail about this.
Perfect. Those are good tips. Oh, thank you.
Also make sure you know the locations of your water shutoff valve and electrical circuit breaker, just in case there's an emergency and you need to cut off water or electricity. A garage can serve many purposes for a family. It can be used to work on a car, store athletic equipment, or even to be a social hangout for friends and neighbors. Your garage looks great. Sometimes too much clutter can create a fire hazard. Remember to separate items that contain combustible chemicals, such as fertilizer, paint thinner, pesticides, and gasoline. They can create dangerous fires. Make sure they are properly stored according to the instructions and have a fire extinguisher nearby just in case. Garage doors can provide easy points of entry for a burglar. Never leave it open after you leave the house. Installing motion sensor lights above the garage door will help you deter nighttime break-ins through the garage.
Yeah, I'm always worried about a burglar coming in through the garage. Do you have any other theft prevention tips for me?
Absolutely. The first thing I would do is go to Allstate's Digital Locker.
Okay.
This website allows you to create an inventory of all your personal items inside the home, just in case of a theft or burglary, but also lets you value the items for insurance purposes.
Ooh, good tip, okay.
If you buy any large items, such as a big screen TV or an appliance, don't set the box outside. You don't want potential burglars to know what you have inside of your home.
Ah, okay.
It's also very important to make sure your lights are on while you're away. That's a big deterrent for burglars. As well, social media, you don't want to let anybody know that you're going to be out of town.
Okay.
It's basically letting know that your house is vacant.
Right.
And also don't let your mail stack up.
Okay, those are great tips. And what was the website?
Allstate.com/goodlife. There are many ways to prevent bad things from happening to your home, but there'll always be windows of risk you may not be able to prevent. That's why it's important you sit with your insurance agent to make sure your policy is updated. Your home protects you. Protect it back.
I'm so glad Alex was here today to put me on track. I'm going to allstate.com to get even more tips and information. I love my home.
Go to designingspaces.tv and click on the Allstate video. You'll also find a link to the Allstate website. We all treasure our home and family, and having peace of mind knowing that we are as safe as possible is important to us.
I live in downtown Sumner with myself and my son. You know, it was a regular Friday. Did some things around the house. My intentions was to take just a nap. So I was laying in bed, nodding off asleep, and I hear this massive crash. He came in, he got as far as halfway through my living room. And I immediately jumped up and hit my panic button. The audible alarm went off, and that's definitely what caused this person to flee my home.
Hello, this is Phil with ADT Security calling about the fire alarm. Is everything okay?
My back door smashed in.
So I'll call the police right now. Thank you.
It saved me from who knows what could have happened and what this person might have done had they made it to my room.
There really is a big difference between monitored versus unmonitored security solutions. How could you really relax? How could you ever feel any semblance of peace of mind if nobody had your back? With ADT, what you have is a total security solution. We provide customers certainty, confidence, and more peace of mind. We provide personalized, customized solutions. A professional sales rep will come out to your home and walk through it and see what your lifestyle is. Tell you where to place smoke detectors, motion detectors, door window sensors, cameras, etc. It's really going to be about what your needs are for total protection and total security. ADT Pulse Security Solutions provide affordable remote security and home management you can control from your phone or mobile device, coupled with 24-hour home security monitoring and fast response to burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide dangers.
Households can expect to average a home fire 5 times in a lifetime. Unfortunately, most people don't think about this when purchasing a security system for their home.
I decided to do ADT because a friend of mine had a robbery. And I procrastinated about it, but just one day I thought, I really just need to do this. I don't know what made me go with the fire coverage, but I am so glad I did. It was December the 11th, and I was getting ready to go to my seasonal job and went in to set the alarm. Suddenly, this sound, fire alarm. Fire in the upstairs bedroom. I thought, what did I do to that alarm? So I took off upstairs and opened the bedroom door. The flames were shooting from floor to ceiling. I pulled the door to, came back downstairs, and about that time the phone rang.
We're in my attic.
Okay, get out of the house, ma'am.
It's a big star, please.
Okay, you need to get out the home, ma'am.
The cats. I'm trying to get the cats out of the house.
Okay, Miss Miller, please get out the home. I'll call the fire department.
The fire department got here really fast. and I kept going around saying, there's 3 cats in the house, there's 3 cats. Everybody I'd see, I would tell that.
Along with 24/7 monitoring, ADT solutions allow customers to take control of their home through advanced but simple-to-use technology.
What good would it be if we created this amazing system that helps protect you and the things you love most and lets you control things from afar, but we made it complicated and cumbersome? Our ADT Pulse app that works on Android or iOS is simple and intuitive. You can remotely arm and disarm your security system. You can lock and unlock your doors. You can receive text alert notifications. And HomeView provides a quick floor plan that you can at a glance view your home and all the devices in it. And soon we'll have remote garage door control, which will allow you to open and close your garage door remotely. All of this comes with 24/7 monitoring, with 6 interconnected monitoring centers across North America. What this means is that if one shuts down, emergency signals can be answered by any of the other centers.
Many security systems even allow homeowners to remotely see what is going on in and around their home.
We offer cameras with wireless and low-light options that can be set up anywhere in and around your home to stream secure live video or record pre-scheduled clips. You can even be notified by video message when your child comes home from school. You can even unlock the door for housekeepers, contractors, children, or guests, and you can lock it back again when you know they've left the home.
Home security experts often advise homeowners to use lights as a crime deterrent.
The ADT yard sign is a great way to keep burglars away. Another important way to keep burglars out is to keep your home well lit. Lamps and lights can be connected to the ADT Pulse system to be controlled remotely or set on a pre-programmed schedule.
In the U.S., a burglary happens every 15 seconds. Having a security system and a network of trained professionals can help you avoid being part of that statistic.
It gives me peace of mind. It makes me feel more comfortable that my son is protected also. It's hard to even think about what could have happened, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that he called so fast and that the officers were here so quick. Everything came together so perfectly.
She really felt that her life was in danger and was very, very thankful to have the ADT alarm there by her bedside, and is much more secure in her house now because of the response from the officers, the response from ADT, and the way everybody worked together.
Our team at ADT is focused on every detail and any opportunity to provide that sense that everything is taken care of. We've got your back. Our goal is to give you true peace of mind by providing you with uncompromising security.
For more information on ADT, visit their website, adt.com, Designing Spaces, and click on the appropriate video.
We're here with Jerry Chavez from Henry Company to guide us through a DIY roof repair. Yes, I just said DIY and roof repair in the same sentence. Jerry, welcome back to Designing Spaces.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
And we're here at Frank's home. Now, he thinks he has a roof leak, so Jerry's going to guide all of us on how to fix it as a DIY project.
Looking forward to it.
Yes. So let me ask you, unless we're having water come through our ceiling, how do we know if we have a roof leak?
That's a good question, but before we get started, it's important to reiterate that DIYers can take on these types of projects, but they can be dangerous. So always think safety first.
Good point.
Now, we have 3 areas of the roof where typically leaks will develop. First, you want to check for cracks, splits, or breaks, or any visible problems. Second, you want to check all roof penetrations, such as skylights, chimneys, or roof vents, as 80% of roof leaks occur at some penetration.
Wow.
And third, you want to check where you have any dissimilar materials, such as where metal meets brick or shingles meet metal. These surfaces expand and contract at different rates and tend to pull away from each other. A loose seal could indicate a leak.
Okay. Now, I noticed you have different products here, so can you tell us what their differences are and their specific applications?
Absolutely. So we have 3 products here today. We have Wet Patch, Clear Patch, and Roof Repair Fabric. Now, Wet Patch is an asphalt-based leak stopper that can be applied on wet or dry surfaces, underwater, and from 20 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Our top-of-the-line product is Henry 209 Extreme Wet Patch, and that offers a lifetime warranty. So for the life of the roof, you're covered.
Wow.
The next product is 208R, it's rubberized wet patch, and that offers a 10-year warranty. Then we have Henry 183 Roof Repair Fabric, and that reinforces the patch and provides 5 times strength and durability. And finally, we have here today Henry 212 LV, which is a crystal clear sealant.
Well, Jerry, with all of that, how do I know what I'm going to need?
Well, that's a good question. Before we decide what products we'll need to do the repair, let's go up on the roof and take a look, and that'll determine what products we'll need to do the repair.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys do that. I'll just stay down here and supervise.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, have fun. Be safe.
You know, Jerry, what you just said confirms what I already thought. This section right here is directly over my bedroom, and that's where the leak developed. That looks mighty suspicious to me. What do you think?
That's a pretty typical scenario. Here we have shingles meeting rolled roofing, plus we have some loose material.
So what do we do?
That's easy. We'll use Henry 209 and repair fabric. That'll give us an instant permanent patch.
I like it. I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I brought along a selection of tools we may be using. We got a roofing trowel, a putty knife, utility knife, brush, and of course, safety goggles and gloves.
Wow. You know, I actually have most of this in my garage already.
Frank, you know that's no surprise. Most of these tools can be found in a typical home's tool chest.
Okay, so what do we do now?
Okay, so before we get started, we want to make sure the surface is clean. So we're going to use the brush and the putty knife to remove all dirt, dust, or any loose particles that may prevent a smooth patch.
Okay, now, this is pretty solid.
Yeah, you don't want to pry too much. You only want to remove anything that is loose.
Looks like we're ready.
Okay, Frank, now that the surface has been cleaned, we're ready to do what is known as a 3-course patch. In step 1, we'll apply a 1/4-inch layer of wet patch into the repair area, and we'll work the wet patch into the break, spreading it 2 to 4 inches beyond the repair area, feathering the edges.
Got it. Right about here, Jerry.
That looks good.
Cool.
Okay, so in step 2, we'll reinforce the patch with Henry Roof Repair Fabric, which will give us 5 times strength and durability.
Okay, so here we go. Right over the break.
Just tap it down with the trowel.
Like so?
You can go heavier than that.
That makes sense.
Push in a little more pressure. There you go. And that's all there's to it. Okay, and finally in step 3, we're gonna apply another 1/4-inch layer of wet patch over the top, completely covering the fabric. Once again, feather the edges. We wanna get a smooth patch so that water will run off of it.
Makes sense. Jerry, we wanna avoid digging in too much, right? A little worried about rolling that fabric.
Correct, yeah, you wanna just cover it completely and avoid having the fabric come up. Remember to feather the edges.
So how's that looking?
That looks really good, and that completes the 3-course patch, and now you have a permanent solution with a lifetime warranty.
All right then.
Where can we learn more about Henry products?
Yeah, that's easy. Go to www.henry.com.
Okay, easy enough.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you, Frank, for letting us be part of your roof repair.
Hey, you bet.
Appreciate it. Well, we're gonna have a link to their website on ours at designingspaces.tv. And be sure to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/dspacestv. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Yeah, good job, guys.
Keeping a home a safe and secure place to live is the dream of every homeowner. From fixing a leak in the roof to making a safety list or installing the latest in home security and management technology for the ultimate safeguards. We want you to live that lifestyle. We are Designing Spaces.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show or to find out how to be part of the show, log on to designingspaces.tv. You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.